Hello YouTube, it's Paul again. We're back on the Tedelex project. This is video number 4, I think, on the Tedelex. Alright, so a quick summary where we're at. We've got the radio tuned, RF wise, also the channel selector and that area has been done. That came up a treat. We've gone through and done a foot alignment now on TX, and we've also, TX is up here, down here. We've also done the 10-240 alignment. We've also done upper and lower sideband alignment. Clarifier is sitting at just on 12 o'clock. So that's all good news. We replaced the VCO for a Razor Radio's Cybernet VCO. We also installed a chip holder for the PLL02A. And in between videos, I encountered another problem. The crystal filter was a suspect. Replaced the crystal filter from one out of a GE. It's a slightly better quality apparently, but they're both made in Tokyo. Alright, so what is the plan for tonight? Tonight's a very simple video. I'm going to show you how to replace this microphone socket. And if you look at it, this one here, it's all busted, all broken, kindly departed. Okay, so what do you need to do this? I've done a little diagram, but on the bench I have a myriad of things. You need your part, which is this here. It's a 6-pin part connector. You need your solder sucker, if that's what you're using, your soldering station, an iron on medium heat, and I'm going to go through and deox the switches after this. Alright, so what do we have here? I do this for my own memory, so that if anything happens or the video doesn't show anything, we've got an explanation. So on the bottom pin, that's your ground connection or earth connection on this connector. On the first pin here, we have white. The white coax goes to that. The black or braid part of the coax goes to a ground pin next to it. We then have two black connectors or wires running off the next pin. One goes to a resistor. The other one goes to a ceramic cap, again to the ground. The middle one we have green, and then from the green we have a capacitor. We also have a capacitor as well. So the green wire goes off to the voice circuit. The capacitor again goes to ground. Then we have a yellow wire, and next to that yellow wire we also have a capacitor going off that terminal to ground. And the final pin, the 5th pin, it's a straight capacitor to ground. So I just write that down for my own reference. It's good to get into these sorts of habits when you're dealing with, if you really want to see, there we go, that type of situation there. It's not rocket science, but keeping notes is straightforward. This goes for exactly the same for 4-pin standard mic fittings, such as this one I have here, which is just a Cybernet 4-pin. On the back, you have all of your suppression caps, and then your wires are to solder onto those terminals. So again, I write down diagrams for those. If I have a parts radio and I'm just cutting out of the part radio, I leave the wires connected, but that's that opens you up to fail. So again, drawing the work is a great technique. All right, so the first thing that we need to do here is just unscrew the facing panel here, the bit of plastic, to get to the plug itself. Okay, the fitting's off, and again, for memory fail, I've just written a little marking here to show you which way the earth is positioned. And there's the broken connector, all rusty, and there's the new one that we're going to replace it with. These are all very commonly available. I picked that one up at the local electronics shop, and I was out of stock. And I've also ordered 10 off eBay, which are identical things. They're like $1 each. They're nothing. It's very good value. All right, I'm going to start desoldering and then soldering back. Okay, so we've started just putting the wires onto the plug. Now, I've picked something up here, which is, it's been modified. Oh, gee, focus. See that resistor there? That resistor is meant to be down there on the board, and then a wire comes from there up to the connector. Well, I'm going to put that back that way. So I'm going to remove that resistor and do it factory. Okay, after looking at the schematic, you should never assume things. Anyway, what I've done is I removed the resistor, which was hardwired to the board. I've added a long single core cable. I put the resistor inside a see-through shield, and then I've hooked it up to the mic connector. That way anyone can see the value of the resistor if it needs replacing. Alright, so the progress is happening. We've basically done all the wires. I just need to transfer all of the capacitors. As you can see, I've added side cutters and wire strippers to the needs list of tools for this. Alright, when I have more, I'll show more. Okay, the most fiddly bit here is obviously putting the capacitors back on, but it's all done. I've neatened up the area, gone over all the solder, checked that the connections are compliant, no dry joints, and it's all good. So you stick your meter in here, check for continuity back to here. Alright, I'm going to put it back into the radio. Okay, job done. It's in the radio, plugged in the mic so the connector works. All looking a lot better than the one that was in it. Next step is to test the radio. Okay. Upside down, where are we? Alright, that's a good sign. Alright, TX's audio. Audio. Okay, and that concludes this video. Alright, well, again, planning is important. Having your parts laid out, diagrams, having all your right tools available to you, and not getting distracted. The biggest issues with working on stuff is when you you get distracted. Anyway, if you like this video, click subscribe and like, and leave your comments and I'll answer them. Thank you very much. Happy CBing.